the Law Falls, a House of Dragon podcast on the consequences of unchecked power. When the Law Falls, a House of Dragon podcast. The world of Westeros is infamous for its morally ambiguous characters, but none more so than the ruling families. The ruling powers in the Seven Kingdoms often exemplify the concept of unchecked power, which ultimately leads to collapse. In the world of Game of Thrones and its spin-offs, this concept is often illustrated through the rise and fall of the noble families. The Lannisters, for instance, demonstrate this perfectly. With Cersei's ascension to power, the rule of law crumbles, replaced by a self-serving system in which might makes right. Similarly, we see this in the current season of House of Dragon, where King Viserys reigns a deadly struggle for power. The Dance of the Dragons, depicted in the show, has left King's Landing destroyed and the nobles set on a warpath, demonstrating the devastating consequences when institutions crumble. But the warning signs were there long before Viserys' desperate attempt to create an heir. The breakdowns and decay of institutions start with the erosion of trust in institutions and a blurring of moral lines. Once strong laws and established norms lack enforcement and are undermined by personal interests, the next step is a descent into chaos. Historically, too, we see that corruption, unchecked, can destroy entire systems of governance. In the world of Game of Thrones and real-world events, this slide into darkness is all too familiar. The Dornish know this firsthand. A century of almost unrelenting oppression and subjugation has left their economy and people starved. Conversely, the Iron Islands, governed by a more practical combination of sea law and ancient chieftains, offer a lesson on how differently things might have been. These systems may not be perfect, but respect for order and knowledge of a natural system keeps power on a leash, relatively free from exploitation. Where institutions fail, an objective, functioning system can help check the rising tide of abuse. For this works best is where both come together, an inherent set of rules supported by functioning establishments. Viserys, unfortunately, was too wise to see his mistakes coming, while others who walked before him who experienced this sort of unregulated rise took steps that failed. It is now whether House of Dragon will demonstrate the collapse of that institution or offer some glimmer in the struggle can only be said upon watching.